So tomorrow is Super Tuesday, and it could determine the Democratic nominee. Just to recap so far, Pete Buttigieg won the first caucus in Iowa. Bernie won New Hampshire, albeit barely, and then went on to win by a huge margin in Nevada. Of course, on Saturday, Joe Biden won a very big victory in South Carolina, almost getting 50% of the overall vote in a still relatively crowded field. So what does this mean going into Super Tuesday? Not much. Biden's victory only 3 points before Super Tuesday won't give him the bump it would had South Carolina been 2 weeks ago. Also, a New York Times article released the other day revealed that Biden had almost no ads in these states and hasn't been to a Super Tuesday state in over a month. If he was smart, he would have put some resources in Iowa, but spent the bulk of his time in South Carolina and then the Super Tuesday states. But I digress. A day out, I'm going to predict who will win the Super Tuesday states based on polling and the fact that Mayor Pete and Amy Klobuchar dropped out. So first, let's start off with Maine. Post South Carolina polls still have Bernie winning Maine overwhelmingly, so we're going to give that to him. Next state is Vermont, Bernie's home state. It won't even be close here. He'll carry the state with over 75% of the vote. Next is Massachusetts. I predict Bernie will win Massachusetts, with Warren coming in second place. Warren hasn't been viable for a while now, and especially if she loses her home state there. Now, Virginia, a few days ago, I would have said Bernie would get a narrow victory here, but all the polls in the state have Biden ahead by several points, so I predict Virginia will go to Joe Biden in the end. Just south in North Carolina, Biden also made a huge comeback in the state and will win there as well. To the west in Tennessee, Hillary won over 60% of the vote in the primary here against Bernie Sanders in 2016. And the few polls I could find have Biden ahead in here after his bump in South Carolina, so I predict he will take Tennessee as well. That leaves Bernie with 3 states and Biden with 3 states so far. Next is the state of Alabama. Biden, even before his South Carolina victory, had overwhelming support here, so Alabama will go to Joe Biden. Next is Arkansas. Before Saturday, Bernie had the lead here, but the Deep South is still Biden territory, and Biden will win Arkansas. Now, Amy Klobuchar was tied with Bernie here, but she's since dropped out. Will all her support go to Biden? No. Bernie will win Minnesota because not all Klobuchar voters will go to Biden. Some will go to Bloomberg, Warren, and even Bernie Sanders. Oklahoma doesn't really have good polling either, but post-South Carolina polls give Biden a lead with Mike Bloomberg coming close behind, but I ultimately think Biden will prevail in the state of Oklahoma for a narrow win there. Next, we have the state of Texas. 228 delegates are at stake here, the second largest Super Tuesday state. Now, polls have Bernie and Biden neck and neck, but most polls give Bernie the advantage. But it's essentially become a toss-up. My prediction, again before South Carolina, Bernie was overwhelmingly favorited. So in this state, I think the Biden momentum was too late. Next we have Colorado. No surprise, Bernie will win overwhelmingly there. Utah, same thing, which leaves just California. California is a state, like Texas, Bernie has put a lot of effort in campaigning, and I think tomorrow it will pay off for him. Biden is just too far behind in this state to be even in striking distance. So either way you look at it, Bernie will win Super Tuesday, but the question now is, by how much? Anyway, that's all for today. Please like and subscribe to the channel, and I hope to see you in the next video.